Baby, I do not know why we have Stephen Miller's wife on CNN. Like, what value does she provide? What expertise can she offer? I do not understand it. In a way, I am grateful because she got exposed on CNN. Shall we watch? Just a bit. Just a bit.
In the end, I want to go back to something that Bakari said. He said that those orders that were given the drug boats in Venezuela were illegal. Can you cite those statutes, please?
Yes, because it's actually called the Due Process Clause of the United States of America. Because can you point to one of those boats that actually had drugs on them? Do you know that? Do you know about the Trinidadians who were killed innocently, who were just fishermen? Can you actually kill those fishermen without due process? So the answer to the question is yes. I can cite the Constitution, just as Scott did.
If you go and say that those were members of Al-Qaeda or ISIS coming to our shores with enough drugs or enough ammunition to kill 100,000 Americans, wouldn't you expect our commander-in-chief to take action to stop that? That's what's happening here. That is what's happened, by the way. That's what happens in every war zone, whether you go to Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran.
Prove it. Prove it. Prove it.
Somalia. Go there. Let's talk about it.
Give me one name of one individual that you can compare to Al-Qaeda coming through that had enough fentanyl to kill all these Americans. Can you name one?
Let's go to what these drug boats are talking about, which is that we are actively ensuring that the war on drugs that we've been doing for 50 years, which has not worked one single day.
Yeah, right. We can agree on that.
It hasn't been successful one day. So wouldn't you want our country to try something different? You talked about elections and why they're important. In 2024, President Trump won and beat Kamala Harris under stopping the war on drugs, under stopping the entrance of illegal drugs into our country.
Okay, this is awesome. I almost wish I were in the studio for this, for a better video, because this is fucking good. This is good. This is good. Sometimes you just gotta let them speak. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just let them speak, and they just will hang themselves.
Under stopping the surge of illegal immigration into our country, and that's exactly what
Can I just put a fine point on this? Yeah, go ahead. Just really quickly. I think that my point maybe differs from yours, which is fine. But I believe that individuals deserve some modicum of due process. And I think that is something that's enshrined in our Constitution. If you have some facts that you wanted to tell the audience tonight about the individuals that you know that were brought in or bringing in, and maybe if we arrested them, maybe if we actually saw what was going on, maybe if there wasn't an ulterior motive, because what I do know, and I think you know this as well, that there were innocent Trinidadians who were just on a fishing boat who died as a result of that. I know that they're military members. Yep. That swore an oath to this country who now have a problem with that. So I
think you're cherry-picking facts.
The other part is that, we also know that the United States did have some of these people in custody, and rather than actually try them, which we have done in the past, we let them go. We also don't know, they've never said explicitly what drugs are being carried on these boats, but the fentanyl, we know, is not coming from Venezuela. But the issue here is about the legality and about what happens when there is a system that doesn't contemplate whether things are legal or not. And the British seem to think that there might be things in our actions in the Caribbean that are illegal. We've had a top military officer resign from his post, retired years early. So there are some indications here that people are not comfortable with the legality of what's going on.
It's absolutely illegal. They are killing people with no due process. They're not providing evidence. We're not in war. And the New York Times even reported yesterday that Pete Hegseth ordered 2 people to be murdered who were on one of these boats. After they shot the boat and the boat was destroyed, there were 2 survivors on the boat, and they shot the boat again to kill the survivors. Even if we were at war, that would be unacceptable. That would still be a war crime. We're not at war. We're not at war. You know who's at war, though? Stephen Miller's wife. She's fighting for her life in CNN. Here is a clip of her talking. Let's just watch.
I want to finish this.
Please do.
I was President Trump's immigration spokesperson in the first term. I have been saying this on the record since we shut down the government to build the wall back in 2018. We are removing every single illegal alien that's in this country. And I would say a majority of those who've been removed have had serious violent crimes.
That's
today
not
in
true.
Today
That's
in
not
the New
true.
Yorker.
That's not true.
That's not
Today
true.
in the New Yorker.
Spokesperson saying that.
That is actually
that's
not true.
false.
Today in the New
Based on-
Yorker.
based-
Demonstrably
false.
Today in the New Yorker.
Based on DHS's own data, a majority of the people that they've
Demonstrably false.
detained have not had
A
violent
criminal record.
That have been removed.
Okay, I kind of don't mind that she's on CNN because she's so bad at it. She's so bad at it. She was asked about Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson, and well, oh my God, this woman, she looks defeated.
Yes or no?
I don't believe J.D. Vance has ever sat and nodded along with Nick Fuentes.
Do you
and
think
would
that,
be,
do you
and
think
would
that
be gross
Tucker
for you to say
Carlson,
he did.
do you think it is okay for J.D. Vance to think it's okay for Tucker Carlson to sit and nod along with
I think it's okay
with
for
Nick
Tucker
Fuentes?
Carlson to have Nick Fuentes on the show, the same way you have people
Okay,
on your show
well,
who
that's all
espouse similar
well,
views.
hold on, that's all I asked you, and we can just leave it at that. Because at the end of the day, that is what the Republican Party has to decide. Do they care whether or not someone who has a loud voice in their party is bringing on somebody who is encouraging neo-Nazism?
Wait,
and if you
do the
think that
Democrats
that
not
is
have to
okay,
decide?
Wait,
Because
if you think that's
they
okay,
vote all
then
sorts of
Democrats-
things.
Girl. All right, I think there's a clip about, yes. She's asked about Jennifer Welch talking poorly about her husband.
they
It's
are
the same
not
thing.
the same thing.
What I think is
okay?
so- what I find
Listen,
so-
but Katie, but hold on, Katie.
No, we can
Do you
agree to
believe that
disagree.
Jennifer Welch has a right to say something negative about your husband?
The same way Nick
Do you-
Fuentes has
no,
the
but
right
hold
to
on.
say what he wants
so
to
you
say.
think
No
Nick,
difference.
you think that it's okay? Hold on. Do you think it is okay for Jennifer Welch? Is she allowed to say something negative about your husband?
Absolutely, and it's your job as
Okay.
a moderator then to push back.
So that's the first thing.
It's the same way you're asking Tucker
So now
Carlson
Nick
to push back against
Fuentes,
Nick
but
Fuentes.
hold on, Nick Fuentes.
Is it not different?
Nick Fuentes is espousing. He's not describing someone else as a Nazi. He is saying, I admire Nazis. You don't think that's a different thing?
Do you believe my
You don't
husband's
think
a Nazi? You allow
but
someone
do
on
you
your show
think
to
that
say
that's
it.
do you think those things are different or not?
I don't think
I believe
anybody
it's the
around
same.
me.
Well, she asked Abby Phillip this question. She asked, do you think my husband is a Nazi? I'll answer that question. Yes. Yes, I do. Your husband is a Nazi. He's an ugly Nazi. He looks like a penis. He wants to hurt normal people. He also, yeah, he's a Nazi. He's a Nazi. We'll leave it at that. It's a little early for me. Do you think Stephen Miller's a Nazi? Let me know in the comments.
But
hold on.
comparison
So listen,
for Nick Fuentes
I just
to go
think-
to Tucker
I
Carlson's
just think
show
that
as
you
you
are
to have
making
people to have on your show.
you are making a comparison of two things that are not in any way the same. I acknowledge that and listen, when
It's
people
happened more than once, Abby.
But
So
hold
it's
on.
at one point, it's a
But hold
common
on.
occurrence.
When people say their opinions, I don't endorse them, but I also am not responsible for their opinions.
doesn't that apply to Tucker
That is
Carlson?
different from a person themselves describing themselves as a hate monger.
Is Tucker Carlson
And so
responsible
that
for Nick Fuentes' opinions?
So, but hold on a second. I am also not a Republican Party official or a Democrat Party official.
Neither is
and so
Tucker
I'm
Carlson.
asking you as a Republican, and who you think is the leader of your party, right?
Right
and
now it's President Donald
And
J.
I'm
Trump.
asking your opinion, okay? If you think that J.D. Vance is that person, do you think that he should be at a table and nodding along with Nick Fuentes, yes or no?
I don't believe J.D. Vance has ever sat and nodded along with Nick Fuentes.
Do you
and
think
that would
that?
be
I mean, J.D. Vance said that Tucker Carlson has the right to interview Nick Fuentes, who is a self-described neo-Nazi. Self-described. All right, I think we should watch one more. I think there's one more clip in here. Okay. There is one about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here we go.
I think President Trump has made it very clear he'd like to see J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio. There are many people who can speak eloquently to what the MAGA base is about, which is growing our economy, stopping illegal immigration, putting Americans first, which is what Make America Great Again means, is Americans first, and Americans doing what we can do to grow and live in the best country in the world. But I want to go back to Marjorie Taylor Greene for a second. Just because she left the party isn't indicative of some larger MAGA revolt and President Trump's grasp on the MAGA movement. She is someone who blew up his phone multiple times a day, acting like she was the center of the universe and main character syndrome, when in reality, President Trump's job is not member maintenance and dealing with a specific member of Congress. He is the leader of the free world who has a lot more on his plate than returning Marjorie Taylor Greene's calls back every 5 minutes.
But it's not.
I think President Trump has made it
Okay. All right. I mean, I just think she's really good at this. I don't think she's good at this, which makes me think she should do it more. She should do it more. I want to go on this show. I want to go on the show. Would that be okay? I kind of want to do it. I want to see if I can get on. Debate with Stephen Miller's wife, Katie Miller. All right. Well, that's all I got for you today. And well, not today, for this video. And I will. I'm heading back to DC, where I will have a better setup again, and hopefully we'll be talking to you later tonight. Okay. So I'll see you then. And ta-ta. Bye.